I think I'm live. I am so new to this restream, so let's see what I can see. If I can see the chat. Hi, if you can see me, hello. I can't see me. I'm sorry. I need to have better technology. So it looks like I'm live. Hi, everybody, if you can see me. I don't know why I can't see the chat. Open in browser. Let's see. Let's see if that helps. Well, there I am. Hello, happy Friday. I know, hooray, the chat is waiting for new messages. All right. Oh, good, Melissa. Hey, thanks for typing. I can see that you're chatting now. This is, oh, there's a lot of people there. It seems like, oh, hi, Teresa. How are you? Teresa, I have to interview you for the Feel Fabulous. Hi, oh, it's going so fast now. I can't even say hello. Well, when it goes, it goes. Good afternoon, everyone. Just want to see how everybody's doing. I know we live in interesting times. People are going crazy. I guess because I've moved to a smaller town. It's not really a small town, Indio. There's 80,000 people, but it's spread out. And compared to living in LA, it feels like a small town. I'm not really feeling the panic now. Plus, I live in a gated senior community, which is pretty mellow. So I'm seeing the stores be the way they are. You know, Costco has been sold out of paper towels, toilet paper, water, hand sanitizer. Walmart. As long as I got my starch, I think I'm not going to panic, but I think I am going to go buy like a 50-pound bag of rice, because if I had to, I could live on rice, and that will last a very, very long time. So I hope you guys are doing well. If you have signed up to go to certain events that I'm in, they're deliberating right now. The decisions should be made this weekend whether these events will be going on or not. Several of them have already canceled. Let's see which ones have canceled. The one in Texas on April 4th, Midland, Texas, has canceled. I know Dr. Greger has canceled all of his events for the next couple of weeks. So that's why it's so great to have this online kind of learning and education, so that we can stay connected, and those that want to learn stuff can learn it. So that's kind of cool that's my job. So anyway, I have some questions that were sent in by people of the Ultimate Weight Loss Program that I'm going to answer. And if you have any questions live, I'm happy to answer them as well. So Roseanne wants to know what's cooking. So you know what, I don't know how to go live with this. Is called Restream, so it's going to my Facebook page, YouTube, and I don't know if we can do it from a phone. So I am going to go live cooking, because I invited some people for dinner tonight, and I said, hey, you want to live stream it? So I'm just going to show you what I'm going to make for dinner. Some of the prep I've already done before I thought about that. So can't show cooking from the office. I'm getting a new screen, by the way. I'm so excited. Janine Elder Potato Wisdom designed the most beautiful screen with vegetables and fruit, and as soon as we order it, you'll see it. This is the one I used for the summit, which I hope you guys watched. It was really, really good. So I don't have very many questions from UWL. So let's see here. Well, your world, Costco, Winco, and Trader Joe's were all nuts. I know. I think the worst thing to do in a situation like this is panic, because then it's just crazy. But maybe because I just am living in a bubble here. Hi, Teresa Bishop. Hi, Victoria. Oh, UK. Wow. Is it crazy in the UK, Donna, as well as it is here? And nice to see you here, Dylan. Thank you. It was so fun. Dylan came over for the day with his beautiful girlfriend, and we did a bunch of videos and cooked together. And because of him, I'm actually roasting fennel tonight. I never thought to roast it, but it's delicious, especially with his Italian dressing. And Dylan, I was interviewed by a doctor today for his channel, and he knew about your dressing. So we should talk, because he's an oil-free doctor, and he was very interested in them. And if you want me to send some to Dr. McDougall, or you send them, I think he would like them very much too. If you haven't tried Well Your World's new salad dressings, delicious, all 5 flavors. 2 are my favorite for salads, and 2 are my favorite as dipping sauces. And let's see, I'm just seeing if there's so many comments. Hello, Deborah Lee. And Iowa, wow. Working from home. Yeah, Cheryl's saying she's working from home due to the COVID-19. A lot of people are working from home. And I got to tell you, working from home is the greatest thing in the world, virus or no virus. So, I'm a homebody. Hi, Jeanette. Oh, Canada. Is Canada going crazy? We have a lot of people here that live in the Coachella Valley, and they're called snowbirds. And they come live here exactly 6 months. And they're wonderful people, some of my best friends, in fact. And I've been very sad that some of them are going home. And while I don't want anyone to ever get sick, I'm kind of hoping that they can't go back home for selfish reasons because they're my dog Bailey's godparents. They're the ones that are coming over for dinner tonight. So yeah, it's really crazy. You love my channel. Thank you, Sarah. Oh, if you love my channel, specifically my YouTube channel, and especially if you're not subscribed to either my YouTube channel or my mailing list, I have the greatest recipe coming up this week. So I try to do a recipe every week, and most weeks I do accomplish that. And I put them on, I schedule them, do like maybe 4 or 5, and then I do 4 and 5. So I release them Wednesday night at 12:15 a.m. And so this coming week, the day after St. Patrick's Day, I have a toasted everything bagel. And how will somebody that doesn't eat flour make a bagel? Well, you're going to have to tune in at 12:15 a.m. and watch. I'll see if I can find a picture on my phone. This looks exactly like a bagel. It crunches like a bagel, and it tastes like an everything bagel. It is gluten-free and flour-free and mind-blowing. I've only made it in the Breville. You probably could bake it as well. I haven't had a time to test it that way. It'll probably work in a regular oven. It's just, nothing comes out as crisp without the air fryer. I'm sorry. So get the crisp lid, which is like $59. You can use my code for $10 off, or get a very small air fryer, but they're so good, you guys, really. Hello from Oregon too. And let's see, rice and beef. Wait, this is, do you grow some of your own vegetables and herbs? No, I don't have a green thumb, I don't think, because I kill flowers when they're given to me as gifts. We have a very, very small yard. I live in the desert. Not to say that we can't grow things, but up until a year ago, I lived in an apartment my whole life. There was no outside. I mean, there was an outside, but there was nowhere to grow anything. So I never developed a green thumb. But that knowing what's happening now, that might have been a good thing to have done. Hubby did doomsday shopping. Yeah, I hope that when I go to the store, I haven't felt the panic, but I hope when I go to Costco or wherever I go tomorrow, there at least is a bag of rice left for me. Luckily, I have a lot of food in my house just because I like to fill it up. Love your shower. Can't wait right now. Love my shower? I didn't know you were ever in my shower. Okay. All right. Love my shower. I do have a very nice shower. Actually, you can actually sit down. Fennel. Yeah, fennel's really, really good. I taught a class last night at All of a Sudden. It's a cooking store. There's actually 2 of them, one in Palm Desert, one in Palm Springs, and they make those wonderful reduced balsamic vinegars. And 10 people didn't show up. We still had 21 people. And what was so funny is I forgot the lemon juice. I forgot 2 things, garlic and lemon juice. And so the guy that owns it, he's delightful, Rick, he said, "Oh, you could use some garlic oil." And I'm like, "I don't use oil." And he's like, "Really? Why?" And it's like, "Well, I just don't." So he got me some garlic at Walmart, which worked. But for the lemon juice, I ended up using just the lemon vinegar he had, and it worked great in the recipe. So that worked out really, really well to do that thing. Do I take private clients? Email me. Generally, no, but if somebody really insists that I'm the only one that can help them, yeah, I would definitely do one session with people. Generally, I only work with people that have at least read my book or are in the Ultimate Weight Loss Program or Feel Fabulous. Not because I'm trying to get your money, but if you come to me knowing nothing what I teach, then I have to spend an hour basically teaching you chapter 2 of my book, which is calorie density. So I would say that if you want a private session, at least read chapter 2 of my book. If you're in one of my 2 programs, then you know what I'm going to say, because I don't like to waste time teaching the science of you know what I'm saying? But in general, I don't do long-term private coaching. For that, I recommend, a great person is Sharon McCrae in Columbia, Maryland. She's a PCRM cooking instructor. If you need coaching and accountability, if you need really more of the mental part, psychological, Dr. Lyle and Dr. Hawk, they are fabulous. They both charge the same, $75 for a half hour, $150 for an hour. You can get an appointment on their website, esteemdynamics.com. It's a little easier to get an appointment with Dr. Hawk, but Dr. Lyle, it's not impossible. We interviewed her Wednesday night for Feel Fabulous, and it's worth joining that group just 2 weeks for free to see that interview. She's PhD from Harvard. The lady's brilliant. She's like a female Dr. Lyle. I mean, it's amazing. So, hi, Lisa Gray. She's in my community. Hello there. My skin looks great. So thank you. I don't have very much makeup on. I have, what's it called? That thing I wear, the backlight primer, the vegan one that kind of gives me a little glow. But to be honest, a lot of times you see me do these, and that's because I did a broadcast for a doctor's channel. And I have lip gloss, but for the most part, my makeup is vegetables, lots and lots of them. I'm telling you, that is the secret to beautiful skin. And I can say that because my skin was not like this when I was drinking Coke, Slurpees, and Dr. Pepper. I love roasted fennels. Yeah, Teresa, I like the Italian on his roasted, not on the roasted fennel, really good. Let's see. What is the make model of the potato fry maker from your recent Weight Loss Wednesday? So I don't want to jump off this screen to, maybe I can do it. Okay, I think I can. Well, it's in my Amazon store, and I'm going to tell you right now, if you guys don't mind hanging out for a minute, because there was only 3 questions from Ultimate Weight Loss. So what I did is I really researched this, looking at the different ones and the different reviews. And I actually went to a neighbor's house who has one and tried it out before I bought it. So I'm looking in my Amazon store right now. I believe it was $69. Gosh, it disappeared from my store. How could that be? Is it possible it's not on this? Oh, here it is. Oh, it's $66 right now. It went down. It went down $3. So all I'm going to do is find the chat. There it is. I'm going to put it in the chat right now, and then you're going to have the link. I can actually do that. So that's that. It was really easy to use because I've got an injured shoulder and I'm right-handed, so it's completely possible. Mercy said, I lost 90 pounds on a whole food plant-based diet. Congratulations. It's never not worked. So good for you. Debbie agrees that Dr. Hawk is awesome. What about my birthday extravaganza? So I wish I could tell you definitively right now that it's canceled. I'm thinking that they're leaning towards that. They have not officially issued the declaration, and it's driving me crazy too, because I don't know what to say to people. And I had the event that I was scheduled for in Midland, Texas with Dr. Greger. You try calling American Airlines, because I know I can cancel. The question is will I get my money back, or will I be able to reschedule? You can't, you call American Airlines, they go, due to the high volume of calls, call back later, and they basically hang up on you. I was on hold 90 minutes last night. Still couldn't get through. So we'll have that information soon. I have high uric acid. How do I lower it following UWL? So that is a medical question, and I would never attempt to answer that. So when you have a medical question like that, uric acid, that sounds like gout, I'm guessing. So I know that sometimes people don't eat beans or a lot of beans when they have that, or drink cherry juice. Again, I'm not giving medical advice other than to say, please find a plant-based doctor. And how you do that is you go to plantbaseddocs.com and look in your area. If there's none there, almost all of the wonderful plant-based doctors do consults for as little as $95. The ones at True North do them for. Dr. Sultana and Dr. Varesh. I don't know, there's different doctors there. And that's what I would do is find at least one that's going to be like an allied health professional. And they're not going to be the one that you go to, obviously, if you need a rabies shot. Bailey, come here, tetanus shot, or get a cold, but they can oversee your care. And that's what I do, is I have my local doctor here for if I get sick, but every time I consult with my doctor of the last 10 years at True North, Dr. Sultana. So I would definitely do that. Dr. Clapper is no longer at True North, but I believe he still does consults. And so many of them do. Dr. Angie Sadeghi, who's a wonderful plant-based gastroenterologist, but definitely, I don't know. So definitely ask your doctor that question. And let's see, shower tour. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to be making a video of the inside of my house soon, because I did one when I moved in of like what it looked like without anything in it. So I definitely may do that. I can't wait to see my recipes this week. Yeah, so it's the bagel, and it's mind blowing how simple it is and how delicious. And I fooled people with it. And of course, I don't eat lox, but what you could do is if you do eat some of the higher fat like nuts, you could make a cream cheese with Miyoko Shinner's recipe. So have bagels and cream cheese. What I did is when I ate it with a tomato and onion, because when we ate bagels and lox growing up, that's how we ate our bagels. So it tasted just like the real thing. Julie's sitting down to potato and hummus dinner in Minnesota. That sounds delicious. Do you think oats, rice, millet for pantry hoarding? I know, I don't want to buy into that mindset like everybody else. And so I think dried things like grains of any kind and legumes are your best bet. And potatoes, if you can get them. I mean, I'm told that, I was talking to Chef Darshana Thacker. She's my friend, and she invited me because my birthday's in like 9 days. So happy birthday to me. This is like terrible. But so everything's getting canceled locally. And we were supposed to go to her house for dinner. And it's like, everybody's just kind of staying put. She says her Costco was sold out of potatoes. Potatoes, unless you have proper storage, probably don't last as long as the rice and beans. But I figure, people can eat potatoes for years and be healthy. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to find as many as I can. And I'm going to go with the rice, white and brown, and hopefully have a little bit of spices and some of Dillon sauce and some balsamic vinegar, and I'll be okay. It's not going to be a gourmet meal every time, but if I can even just get like a couple of scallions and chop it up, I'm happy with a bowl of rice. I really am. It's delicious. Millet's great too. All the grains. My skin is wonderful and glowing since going whole food plant-based. Sherry said it really is. Chef AJ, what are you doing? Even I wouldn't do a chat on Friday the 13th. Well, why not? Because if I don't do it today, I got to do it this weekend. I'd rather have my weekend free for pickleball. So anyway, 13 is actually my lucky number. 4 and 13. 13 is my favorite number. So why not? Made your sweet potato chili with dinner. Super delicious, Linda says. Linda, did you know that my friend Zena, who moderates the Facebook group for Feel Fabulous and Ultimate Weight Loss, she took my chili, the sweet potato kale chili, and she added oats to it, and she makes burgers out of it, and they're really good. So that's another way to do it if you have leftovers. So hello from Georgia. All right. My food supplies are disappearing. It reminds me of one of those apocalypse movies, How do you whiten your teeth? Now, do you mean how does one whiten their teeth or me? Because I don't whiten my teeth. This is what they look like. I brush them with, right now I'm using, I think it's called earth paste, because I don't want any stevia or glycerin or weird kind of stuff in it. I don't drink caffeine. I don't drink alcohol. I don't drink anything that will stain it. I don't chew gum. So I don't do it. When I was 40, that was 20 years ago, I did that thing at the dentist office where they kind of put a light on you, but I think it's really because what I don't eat, acidic things like animal products, so they're not stained. I don't smoke, obviously. So yeah, and I didn't take antibiotics growing up. I know that that's how some people's teeth get really brown. So I just brush them, and sometimes only brush them once a day because I'm kind of lazy. I always brush them before bed because I wear a thing. How do you wait? Okay, so I know what to say to people that only eat meat. Great. Yeah. Have you done what I eat in a day, or can you shoot? So Stephanie, if you go to my YouTube channel, there's going to be close to 500 things soon. And I did what I eat in a day, and it's kind of boring because I eat repetitively simple meals. I think for somebody that has suffered from food addictions, that is trying to lose weight or maintain their weight loss, simple eating is the best. And so, I feel like if I did it, it would be so boring because it's the same thing every day. I wait until I'm hungry to eat, which is usually about noon. Sometimes it's later if I'm just sitting here. I start always with a pound of vegetables, maybe more, but at least a pound. And then I have my starch with more vegetables. And then usually 4 to 5 hours later, it's dinner time, and I kind of rinse and repeat. So for instance, today, I was bad. I didn't have my vegetables first. I had my 1 pound of broccoli with my 1.5 pound Hannah yam for lunch. That was at 11:30. Still not hungry. People are coming for dinner. I'm going to show you how to make it. I'll have to do it Facebook Live because I don't know how to do Facebook and YouTube Live at the same time. We're going to do a stir fry because I taught a class last night and I have all this leftover rice and vegetables. And then what I'll do is I'm not going to put a sauce on. I'm going to just put out Dillon sauces and some California balsamic, and the guests can sauce it up themselves. And the truth is when you use a lot of flavor like I will with caramelized onions and garlic and ginger, you almost don't, and if there's going to be some pineapple in it, you almost don't even need a sauce. So I would estimate that I eat at least 3 pounds of starch a day, sometimes 4, depending on the starch, and 3 to 4 pounds of vegetables a day in the form of steamed vegetables and raw salad, and then maybe a pound of fruit. It's not that I don't like fruit. I just, I think a pound of it a day is enough. And usually the fruit goes in my salad or with my vegetables. But, it's bland is grand and plain is sane if you're suffering with food addictions. If you're one of those people that are very novelty seeking and open to experience, if you're familiar with the Big 5 personality that Dr. Lyle Hawk talks about, it's going to be hard for you. but realize that there's 18,000 different kinds of legumes, maybe not with this rush on food in the stores, but there's so much variety just in sweet potatoes alone, whole grains, that you can eat simply, but yet eat with variety. So I recommend, instead of people doing recipes, even though I've written 400 of them in 4 books, that you batch cook starches like beans and grains and potatoes, and have lots of vegetables on hand, and just make bowls where you just open your refrigerator and there's some cooked rice or cooked quinoa or cooked millet, and put it on the base, and then you put your cooked vegetables or your roasted vegetables or your steamed vegetables, and maybe fruit if you like it. I always like to have a little fruit in my bowls, maybe some sliced grapes or some mango or some pineapple, and then you put a bunch of greens on top, either raw or cooked, and then you find a delicious sauce, rinse, repeat. It's the way to eat. It's cheap, it's easy to prepare, and it's delicious, and the variety is endless. So my daily go-to is sweet potatoes and broccoli. Absolutely. Dr. Sultana is the only medical doctor at True North that's been there since its opening, and he's fantastic. I don't know if he's taking on new patients. Oh, you're saying Dr. Sultana is your doctor? I'm so sorry, be good. Somebody says, cook your beans with whole carrots. It absorbs the acid from beans. I never heard that. I always heard to cook your beans with something called kombu, which is a sea vegetable, which helps with the digestibility in the glass. Sorry, my cat hit my arm. Okay. I wish Bailey would come and see y'all. I'll try to get over here. Does it work soaking your beans with baking soda overnight to cut down gas? I have never tried that, Linda, but I have heard. Kathleen, the event that in Texas, it was canceled, and I mean, I understand, but I'm disappointed. They get about 700 people. It was scheduled to take place on April 4th. It was called Healthy. It was going to be with Dr. Greger, myself, Dr. Stoll, and Dr. Sanjik. And they do it every year. And I was going to do a cooking demo for an hour and a half and a talk. And I think it's called Get Healthy Tech. That's the other event in Texas. So I don't know, but it's in Midland, Texas. It was supposed to be on April 4th. And they do it every year. So that did get canceled. Most of the things that I've been scheduled to speak on in the last 3 months have been canceled. You inspired me to eat a whole container of arugula with balsamic reserve vinegar. Thank you. Get seed vegetables for breakfast. Yeah, vegetables for breakfast. So controversial. It's like people think, oh my God, I'm anti-McDougall. If I love McDougall any more than I do, then Mary would be worried. He is my hero. He is my mentor. And it is not anti-McDougall to eat vegetables for breakfast, especially if you're following the McDougall Maximum Weight Loss Program, because people don't understand. I'm not telling you to just eat vegetables. I'm telling you to eat them first. There is a big difference. I don't expect you to eat 100 calories from vegetables and go about your day. You get those thylakoids in that Dr. Greger talks about that block the fat absorption, that cut the cravings for sugar and other junk food. And then right after you eat your vegetables and you're hungry, which you will be in 5 minutes or an hour, depending on, all kinds of things. Did you exercise, whatever, then you eat starch with more vegetables, preferably. If you read Dr. McDougall's book, McDougall for Maximum Weight Loss, there's nothing that I teach that is anti-McDougall, but people seem to think I am, because it's heresy to recommend vegetables for breakfast, even though the rest of the world that isn't as fat and sick as the United States eats vegetables as part of their breakfast. Have you ever been to Denmark or to any of the Scandinavian countries? Do you know what they eat for breakfast? I have a friend who is from there. She's a hairdresser, and sure, they eat lox and herring with cream cheese on pumpernickel bread for breakfast, with a ton of cucumbers and onion and tomato. And I have a friend who is Chinese who tells me that pickled vegetables is always a part of the traditional breakfast in China. When I went to Japan, when I was working as a comedian, this was 1994. And every day for breakfast in my 5-star hotel, and they didn't care or know that I was vegan. They didn't even speak English. I had to have an interpreter. What we were served for breakfast every day in Japan was salad, was miso soup with a ton of vegetables and rice. So don't tell me it's weird to eat vegetables for breakfast. To me, it's weird to eat oatmeal and fruit, because you're basically eating a cake. And that's what got me all those haters on Instagram. People were threatening me. I'm not going to even say their names and dignify them. I had to block them, but like heresy. I'm not saying oatmeal and fruit is cake if you're a normal person at normal weight that doesn't struggle with food addictions. But if you are suffering, oats are the third incarnation of the whole grain. It is practically like flour. When you take a rolled oat in your finger like this, which you can do, it crumbles into flour. The reason I know this is because as a pastry chef in a restaurant for 5 years, we had to do gluten-free, and the gluten-free flour was out, and I'm like, oh my God, what are we going to do? And so we had some oats, and the Vitamix was broken, we couldn't grind it. And I go, let me just see what happens. It disintegrated. When I cook with oats in a recipe, whole, meaning roll oats, not the groat or the steel cut oats, it disintegrated. And they're just basically for people that want sugar and flour. That's what oatmeal and fruit is. It's an excuse to have cake for breakfast. Sure, it's healthier than Cinnabon or McDonald's, but if you're struggling with weight and food addictions, it is not an ideal breakfast. And I'm going to get Dr. Goldhammer on record Wednesday to say that when I interview him for Feel Fabulous. So to each his own. If it works for you, keep doing it. I live in Baran, so I don't have a plant-based doctor. Luckily, you don't have, but yeah, but you can, these guys do the Skype or the phone interviews. I know you throw the carrots away after the beans are gone. My mom's birthday is 3/22. Is she a bitch like me? Just kidding. Hi from Las Vegas, BB. And hey, Zena, how you doing? Rutabagas. Oh my God, I'm cooking rutabagas for night for dinner. And happy birthday month. Nice to meet you in Riverside Arena. So yeah, Mexican markets are great for finding really inexpensive prices on bulk things like grains and beans. Mary just found me a couple of weeks ago. Where'd you find me, Mary? I've been here for a long time. I'm old now. I'm going to be 60 any day now. Oh, good. You have an Amazon in the Netherlands. And okay, Dollar Tree has lentils for $1. That's pretty good. Okay, Crows and Ravens. I don't know what that is. Thanks. Stephanie says she's a red blind eater, a bland eater too. Karen says I inspire her. Thank you. And you have 2 of my 3 books. Terrific. Okay. Lori, what can I use in place of tamari in recipes? I use low sodium, but still high in sodium. So Dwayne, what I recommend, believe it or not, is the teriyaki flavor vinegar from California Balsamic, because it's the most Asian. Usually when you want tamari, you want the salt, but often it's used kind of for an Asian flair. And it has ginger and it has garlic and it's dark. And that's what I use in place of tamari, is that particular flavor called teriyaki from California Balsamic vinegar. You want to try the potato and onion cabbage soup. You can't find the video. So it's on YouTube within the last 2 months. I don't remember if I called it comfort stew or I called it cabbage, potatoes, and onions, I believe is what it's called on YouTube. And I do great for meals, but have problems with a snack at night. I crave crunchy. Any suggestions? Sure. Jicama, sugar snap peas, really good. I don't recommend popcorn for a go-to crunch. It's 1,800 calories a pound. Better off eating the corn. You could do roasted or air fried chickpeas for crunchy, but they're of a higher caloric density. But also, I would not snack at night. I am a big believer in eating dinner early, cleaning the kitchen, brushing your teeth, and not eating until the next day. So I think if you eat enough in the daytime, particularly starch, you don't have that desire to eat at night. And if you want more information on this, watch the videos that Dr. Lyle did on the cram circuit, because a lot of times if you have to eat at night, this is a conditioned kind of response thing that you can break. Love plain baked fries. Okay. I shared today to someone your testimony where showed how much broccoli and potato. She was impressed. Yeah, it's amazing how much you get to eat when you understand calorie density. Crunchy snack ideas. So I can tell you what's crunchy, but again, I am not a fan of snacking. I'm a fan of eating regular meals, whether it's 1, 2, or 3, or even if you have to eat 4, but not eating in between meals. And if you listen to what Dr. Furman said on the summit, it's the same thing. We want to spend more time in this catabolic phase, not digesting food all the time. So, if you have to put something in your mouth all the time, then either there's something emotional going on, maybe you're anxious, or maybe you haven't eaten enough starch. If you really truly eat enough starch, you're not going to need to snack, because you're always going to be full and you're always going to be satisfied. T Keller says, I'm an inspiration now at 54, feel my healthiest. Good for you, because I didn't really get healthy I didn't start getting healthy till I was 43, and I didn't even lose weight till I was 52. Yes, Bragg's is high in sodium, and so is raw coconut aminos, but less so than obviously tamari or low sodium soy sauce. Oats are best for horses or cows. That's funny. Okay, so I think we're Judy loves her veggies for breakfast. So Judy, did you keep the dopamine earrings or did you give them away? Julie Joseph, I gotta say, I don't know you, but I don't know if you're in any of my groups, because I think I know you, but you are just the kindest person. It's really funny that when I put these YouTubes out, I'm asleep when they come out at 12:15, but there have been times that I've released a YouTube video, like when I'm sitting here at the computer, and I've literally released it, and 1 minute later, there's 4 thumbs down. And I'm thinking, this is a 30-minute video. How can you give me a thumbs down when it's only been out for a minute, right? Or even a thumbs up when it's only been out for a minute. But Julie, you always say the nicest comments, and I really appreciate it. It does not go unnoticed. She says, people are insane. People who follow you know exactly what you mean. It could easily be a free trigger to eat higher sugar. Yeah, I know, because the people that bash me don't know me personally, and they don't know my work. Like I remember this blogger said, oh, Chef AJ forces you to eat a pound of steamed kale in the morning and drink the water. Yeah, I actually have a closet here full of I'll be right there. There's all these people in my closet. So in the morning, I force them to do that. You know, it's just that for weight loss, you got to follow caloric density. And oats are, you know, I think one of the reasons people like oats, Julie, is because as far as grains are concerned, they're pretty high in fat. They're like 20% fat compared to rice that virtually has no fat or is 1% fat. And again, I want people to eat oats, but I want them to eat the oat groat. I wrote a book 10 years ago called Unprocessed. I want people to eat their food whole. Eat the oat groat. If you have a pressure cooker, it takes 5 minutes. And by the way, oat groats are way more delicious. They're toothsome, they're hearty, they're much more delicious than the rolled oat or even the steel cut oat. So yeah, and again, I tell people if you're going to eat oats, eat them savory. Start your day in a savory way. Oats with shiitake mushrooms, kale, you know, garlic. Don't eat oats and fruit if you're a food addict and struggling with weight. Otherwise, if you're my husband or anybody else, knock yourself out. Yeah. Kat says, I put a bag of kale in a frying pan with onions and drizzle ball. Yeah, it's delicious, simple and delicious. Yeah, Debbie says, glad you're feeling better from your head bump. More than a bump, mild TBI, they're calling it, but it's been 8 weeks. I still have post-concussive syndrome, so I haven't been cleared to fly yet. That'll happen on Tuesday if I can, but I'm doing really well. I have very mild eye pain, ocular pain still. And if I go more than an hour with the lights, I get really bad headaches, but I do have some memory loss. Funny story that I told in my cooking class last night is I made a quadruple recipe of my lemon poppy seed dressing to give to gifts, hostess gifts as the guests that were coming for dinner. Failed to put the top of the blender on. Took 75 minutes for the husband to clean up the kitchen. Poppy seeds don't come out easily out of anything, let me tell you, but I do have some little bit short-term memory, or I'm mixing up words, which is kind of funny. I kept telling my husband to register Bailey. That's my dog. I meant harness, but anyway, I'm sure I'm going to get better. I'm going to see the Sherzais though on April 1st, the plant-based neurologist of Loma Linda. What do you think of rinse and sprouted grows? I think if you have time to sprout your food and to soak your nuts and to sprout your grains and beans, much more nutrition. Not everybody does it. Now, I know that at Whole Foods you can buy grains that are already to save time, but they're more expensive, but absolutely delicious. Now we got to worry about getting any grains and beans, apparently. Thick says, you have the best book, Chef AJ. I think you'll like the new one too. Got me onto some fried salad for breakfast. I don't know what fried salad is, to tell you the truth. Linda says, I'm simply the best. Popcorn, lace night feature. If you like yeast on your popcorn, try my faux Parmesan, because that's very good, and it cuts the yeast down a little by cutting it with oats. And if you're a food addict or overweight, hand-to-mouth food, air-pop popcorn, 1,800 calories a pound, same as sugar. Yeah, carrots and celery are crunchy. Old insomniacs like, I have pretzels in my mouth, but that's for old insomniac. So what do you call a dyslexic, agnostic insomniac? Somebody who stays up all night wondering if there's a dog. Ba-dum-bum. Okay, luckily my long-term memory is intact and I can remember. Chef AJ, I hope you don't cancel Palm Springs. We got to see it's surreal what's going on now. It is so bizarre. When I took, nobody would shake hands in my cooking class. Nobody would hug. They were sitting. I'm surprised they even came, not just because of the coronavirus, but because it was absolutely torrential rain yesterday. People came in masks, elbow. So I don't know what is going on right now. So I'm just taking it a day at a time. And that's why I thought maybe I shouldn't go live, but I want to kind of keep it a little light and bring some hope or joy or humor to people, because you can't just sit there and watch the news every day. What will be, will be. And the thing is getting upset about it. Like, I have a dear friend, I'm not going to mention it. You know who you are if you're watching. When you get upset about it, especially there's nothing you can do about it. You just make yourself sick. And then how are you able to help? It'll be interesting to see, now that I'm certified to be an emergency responder, if I'm going to get called to help in any way. But I was told I am not allowed to do volunteer, not I personally, AJ, but the organization that I've been volunteering with since I moved here, Animal Samaritans, where I go into the new nursing homes, the schools, and the hospitals with Bailey. We got a thing that we are not allowed to go. So I didn't get to volunteer today. So that's why I have time for the live streaming. All right, let's see. Where do you buy oat groats? So Melissa, I buy them at a store called Clark's Nutrition. which is like a Mother's or a Whole Foods here in Palm Desert, and they're $1.49 a pound organic, but I could put a link to my Amazon store and show you the ones that I used to buy. Let's see if I can get that for you right now. You can buy them online. Some Whole Foods carry them, some don't. Let me see if I can hear. I'll put the link. This is cool that I can cut and paste now that I figured out how to do the chat. Copy. Just got to get back to it. Here you go. Here's the link for the oat groats. Oat groats are delicious, and you can cook them with blueberries and whatever. I kept them. Hold on, Judy. I just got chopped up. I'm still hoping we're talking about Mexican beer. Oh, that's yeah. You know, when you think about it, like that's the name of a product, and that would not be a good name to have right now. There will always be an Eeyore in every crowd. Yeah. I turned 60 this year too. Well, congratulations. 20. Oh, look who wants to come up. This is the star, and congratulations on being 20 pounds lighter. This is the true star of the show. And we got a thing today that animals cannot transmit it. At least, I mean, domestic animals can't transmit it. I mean, obviously, we wouldn't have any of these diseases, a lot of them, if we didn't eat animals, but we don't have to worry. So, Bailey, are you worried about this at all? Doesn't seem to be. Anyway, that's what we need more of. We need pets. We need to snuggle with our pets and keep them safe. And that's what we do. Listen, I mean, I don't want to be sick or be quarantined, but I am such a homebody that if somebody told me I had to stay home for a month, I'd be like, okay, as long as I go outside and walk Bailey and play pickleball. She always raises her paw like as if she's asking a question. Okay, I lost the chat. Let me get back to, I haven't even answered the questions that were sent in. So, ooh. I think I just clicked something, guys. I may not see this anymore. That's not good. All right. Guess what? I lost the, oh, here it is. Okay. Let's get back to the chat. So happy birthday, Donna. Let's see. I hope, okay. My initials are AJ. You'll be 60 on May 1st. Okay, so you're a Taurus. I'm an Aries. If I could change my sign, I would. I've always wanted to be a Libra like Bailey because they get along with everyone, you know. And Kathy says hi to Bailey. I want to be a Bailey. Zena loves Bailey. Zena, hi Sue. Sue, I hope you followed up on that thing we talked about. I'm one of your favorite people. Thank you. Tell my husband. He thinks I'm such a bitch. Okay, so let me get to the questions that were submitted already. Shauna says, what water filter do you use in your home? So we have one that's called Clearly Filter that JP, who does the Ultimate Weight Loss Program with me, really is a fan of. We have one of those. We also have a Brita. We also have some bottled water. We are looking to get the kind that is installed in the sink, the reverse osmosis that Dr. Goldhammer has at True North. The thing I hear such great things about the Berkeley one. It's so big. I wouldn't know where to put it. So it's we definitely do have the ones that I mentioned, and we would like to get the kind that's permanent that goes through the sink. But everybody that I know that has the Berkey says it's great. They love it. Chris Wark, who from Chris Beats Cancer, says it's the best. So, but the ones I have are the ones I mentioned: Clearly Filtered, Brita, and just regular bottled water, like if a guest comes and things like that. Do I recommend zinc supplements? So I don't recommend any supplements with the exception of B12 if you are following a plant-based diet. And I believe it's 1,000 micrograms a day. I take it every day because especially now with recovering from a head injury, if I don't have the little thing and take it every day, I don't remember what day I took it. And then there's a whole argument what's better, methylcobalamin or cyanocobalamin. But if you are vegan, if you're following a plant-based diet, you need to take B12, even though they say there's an equal amount of B12 deficiency from people that aren't vegan. You don't want to ever get those neurological side effects that can be very serious from not supplementing B12. I don't think it's enough to have the B12 fortified foods like the nutritional yeasts or the plant milks. So you definitely want to take a supplement. I take the kind called Pure Encapsulations that they sell at True North. I believe it comes like 260 in a bottle. They last forever. My husband prefers the drops, 5,000. And but my feeling is that supplements are medications at best, and that not that we should avoid them, but that we should not take them unless they're prescribed by a doctor. Just like hopefully you're not the kind of person that just goes down to Mexico and buys all kinds of medicines and diagnoses and treats themselves. I would say the same thing for supplements. So if you are going to take a supplement, have it be prescribed by a doctor. I happen to take lysine, but that was prescribed by my dermatologist, because about 6 years ago, I got a cold sore, and then I got another one the same month, and they were very, very painful, and I got it injected. And she said, there's some research showing if you take lysine, you won't get one. And I've been taking it, and I haven't gotten one. But I wouldn't tell people to take it just because I take it. So I would definitely have a consult with one of the True North doctors. Dr. Goldhammer does consults for free, but it's not just to help you figure things like this out. It's to see if you're a candidate for True North. But if you're in Feel Fabulous or want to join for 2 weeks for free, he's going to be on next Wednesday, and he will answer all your questions in rapid fire things. So I don't not recommend zinc. I don't know what your condition is. I'm not a doctor to prescribe, but I recommend that all supplements should be because your doctor said to take it. Even vitamin D, that's very controversial. Some of the plant-based doctors say definitely take it, some don't. But I think that if there's not a deficiency, why take a supplement? So in other words, why should everybody take an omega-3 fatty acid supplement or DHA if they're not deficient? You can get your blood tested to see if you are, and that's what I recommend. Okay. Maxine says, will you talk more about your certification program, how it entails, how long is it, a possibility for a virtual one? Okay, so right now, especially with what's going on, that we had this idea and we did it last year, and I'm not saying we won't do it, but we wanted to do a UWL certification program. We had 4 people come and they stayed with us. Well, they didn't sleep at our house, but they came for a week. And it was one of the greatest experiences I ever had teaching, because I was really passionate about having people do what I do. And meaning what I do is not the online stuff that I do, but for years, even before you guys ever maybe heard of me or Ultimate Weight Loss, I was doing these programs at least 4 times a year in my home. They would run for 4 weeks where people would come over for education. They would have myself speaking in person, and then we would Skype in either Dr. McDougall, Dr. Lyle, Dr. Goldhammer each week, one of those 3. And we would do cooking demos. And it was just a fabulous program because it was never more than 24 people, and people got such extraordinary benefit from it because of the camaraderie of the group, the closeness. And so Ultimate Weight Loss was born out of the fact that these people were then posting their pictures on Facebook in bikinis, and people were like, how did you do it? And so that's how we developed the online program. And so the idea was to teach people how to do this. So of the 4 people that came to the class, 2 of them started doing it regularly. One is not yet, because she was not able to coordinate a location, and one was not able to really get enough people to do it. And so it was really a great program because we had all these people speaking. Like we had Dr. Nate Gershfeld talking about how to do a podcast, and other people about coaching and conferences. And I love the idea of it, but it's not ready. It's not ready. And so I don't want to get your hopes up and say, because it's definitely not going to be ready this year, but this is something that I've always kind of wanted to do is teach the business class, because so many of the people that actually have consults with me, when I get them on the phone, it's not about weight loss. It's like, can you help me be successful in your business? And I can help you to the degree that I can help you. I'm certainly not an expert, but there are wonderful business consultants for plant-based. And if you want, Maxine, contact me and I can tell you who they are. But I'm sorry, I don't have anything, ready for prime time, if you will, just yet. I see Sharon McCrae is on. Sharon, I recommended you for coaching because I don't have the patience, for it. I mean, maybe for long term, I can help people where I can, but I'm not the kind for long term. Which, interestingly enough, I've been married for 25 years in a couple of weeks. Which this virus is really messing up my special year of my 60th birthday and my 25th wedding anniversary. So I saw a question come. Oh, Zena said, I loved each and every class I took with you. It was really fun, Zena, because we had John Pierre doing exercise classes. We had Melissa or Heidi doing a yoga class. We would go to a studio. We'd go to Follow Your Heart restaurant for a meal, which, by the way, the owner sadly did die this week. And I haven't contacted the wife yet because it's very sad. And your hair is growing. Well, thanks. I thank you for noticing it's growing. I don't think it looks good. I'm at the point now, because it's so hard. I've had short hair for over 25 years, and I am trying to grow it, not long, but a little longer, that I think Tuesday I'm going to go back and buzz it all off, because I'm at that weird in-between phase. So, what doses of B12 do we need? So again, I'd have to look it up. Is it how much you need a week? Is it? And it's in my book, which my book is over there, and now Bailey's on my lap. I take 1,000 micrograms a day, just because it's not a fat soluble vitamin, so you're going to pee it out. So I wouldn't worry about it. But I believe it's 5,000 micrograms a week. Don't quote me on that, but you do need some for sure. And this is something you can get tested too in your annual physical if you have one. Kat says, I call it fried salad because go to bed. I see. Thank you for explaining. Okay. So Paul says, Elisa loves her Berkey and Diane loves her 5 dogs from Puppy Pal. Everybody's saying hello to Bailey. Oh, Stephen Turner, I love you. I don't know you, but I love you. You were such a wonderful supporter of the summit. One of the things that I hope you guys listen to the summit, and especially when you listen live, because the way that people were supporting each other, I mean, Stephen was just amazing. And I believe you won a good prize, didn't you, Stephen? So I saw a question here, and it's about starch. Can you eat too much starch? So Paul, can you eat, I mean, ostensibly, you know, in general, you could eat, you know, can you eat too much for what? Too much to feel too full, to gain weight? You know, I think when people tell me that they overeat on starch, what I usually find when we really look at their food diary, well, first we realize that you're not even keeping a food diary, but is they're not overeating on starch, they're undereating on vegetables. I think that it's possible to overeat on anything, but I think it's very difficult to eat too much starch if you're not only following principles of calorie density, eating in accordance with those principles, but doing what's called sequencing your meals, which again, you know, people get so upset for me for telling people to eat vegetables for breakfast, which by the way, isn't just vegetables, it's vegetables first. You know, I think of, you know, especially now with what's going on with the state of the world, I think of vegetables as the Marines. And by that, I mean, if we have a national disaster, like when we had that earthquake in '94 and the National Guard was like basically, you know, at my house or my apartment building, which was red tagged, you know, the Coast Guard, they're wonderful. But when we have a national disaster, we don't send out the Coast Guard first. There's an order, there's a triage, and they always say Marines first to fight. And they always say Marines, you know, the brave or the stupid. And I'm not saying they're stupid, they're not, but I mean, they are the first to fight. They are very, very brave. And I think of vegetables like the Marines, like when you have an emergency, meaning your body is in a state of inflammation, you are overweight, you're suffering with food addictions, you're struggling with cravings, you don't send out the Coast Guard, which is the nuts and the seeds. You send out the Marines, which are the non-starchy vegetables, preferably greens, flooding your cells with those thylakoids, your endothelial cells, so that you can shut off the hunger switch, fight the food cravings, and then go on to the starch. And so Dr. Goldhammer at True North has his 24-hour salad bar there, and the buffet is set up in order of increasing calorie density. So you have this huge salad bar with almost every kind of, you know, raw vegetable and different kinds of greens. And then you have the fruit. So you're going from 100 calories a pound to 200 calories a pound. The vegetables cooked, which are 100 to 300 non-starchy raw vegetables to fruit. The steamed vegetables, which by the way, they serve every day for breakfast at True North with the oats, they have to be over there because you can't mix a hot and cold together. And then you have the starches. So if you sequence your meal and eat in order of increasing calorie density, it's impossible to be overweight and it's impossible to not be full, but people don't do that. People, of course, starch is like the good stuff. Of course, I get it. I used to be what was called a right turner. I would go into the True North dining room, and I didn't have the patience to wait in the salad bar line while these people would meticulously make these salads and pick out the papaya from the fruit. So I would go and get my starch and my vegetables, and then I'd be too full to eat my salad. You want to start your, now again, if you are not overweight, if you are overweight and don't care that you're overweight and don't want to lose weight, if you're not struggling with food cravings, then eat whatever you want, preferably whole food plant-based with no oil and as little sugar and salt as possible. But if you are, you want to start every meal with a large raw salad, you know, preferably a pound. It's not that much when you chop it, especially. Then you want to eat a large serving of steamed greens, and then you want to eat your starch. And if you eat them together, the world's not going to come to an end. But if you just eat the starch, it's really hard to go back and eat the vegetables. My husband is 6 feet and 140 pounds, same as Doug Lyle. And he eats vegetables every day for breakfast. And he's done that for 8 years. He started doing it in solidarity with the people in the program. And he realized that once he eats the good stuff, once he eats oatmeal and fruit right afterwards, but once he eats that, he doesn't go back and eat vegetables. And he was eating very few vegetables. And so it's just a really good strategy. So can you eat too much starch? Sure. What I would say is, it's hard to eat too much starch if your belly is full of a pound of salad and a pound of steamed greens first, you know, and also how you cook it makes a difference. So in other words, it's very hard to eat too much wet starches. So in other words, if you are cooking your starches in water. For example, if you are going to eat oats, whether they're rolled or steel cut or the whole oat groat, which is preferred, preferably you're not eating the instant coat, when you do that, you're lowering the caloric density. So I am totally not a fan of people eating raw oats. You can do that because raw oats, the rolled oat, the third incarnation, has been flattened and steamed. It's perfectly edible. But when you eat it that way, you're eating something that is 1,800 calories a pound, the caloric density of sugar. When you cook those rolled oats in water, the caloric density is less than 400. So again, how you're eating the starch makes a difference. I've had clients that were perfectly happy with their weight loss, and then they got a Breville air fryer, and then they started air frying everything they were eating, especially all the starch, and they started to creep up the pounds. Well, the caloric density of the potatoes didn't change. They were just eating more of them because now the water was being cooked out. So if you're eating wet starches like steamed potatoes and not, doctoring them up with sauces with sugar, oil, and salt that fool your brain's satiety mechanism and cause you to actually overeat, it's harder to eat too much starch. I'm not going to say never. There's no absolutes. People tell me this. It's interesting, and I can't tell you this yet until I really talk to some experts like Dr. Goldhammer or Dr. Tarman, but I was interviewed by Dr. Nick Delgado today, who has a theory about people that overeat unhealthy food, something that has to do with adrenals and cortisol. Again, I have no way to prove this. I have to look into this to see if he has a case, but he was saying he was somebody that would overeat unhealthy food as well. But it's harder to overeat on starch if your belly is full of vegetables first. So again, when I was losing weight, if you look at some of I think it's Weight Loss Wednesday, episode 36, I was eating like 4 to 6 pounds of non-starchy vegetables a day. I can't eat that much anymore. I tell my clients or anybody that's interested a minimum of 2, 1 pound raw, 1 pound cooked, but really for ultimate weight loss, you need to double that, eat about 4 pounds. And I would say, I would say I eat at least three per day. It's just, I don't seem to, it's interesting because one of the things Dr. Furman has always taught, and I really believe it to be true, especially when you're in it long-term, like it's been over 8 years for me, is when your nutrient needs are met by this diet that I recommend, you don't engage in hedonic or hyperpalatable or addictive eating because you're just not hungry. And everything I eat is so nutrient dense and calorically dilute that I'm satisfied, but I'm still eating 7 to 10 pounds of food a day. And it's hard to not be satisfied with that. So I guess there's a long answer, Paul. The answer is probably yes. But again, it would depend on the starch, how it's cooked. I think that it's very hard to eat too much butternut squash. But again, people are unique. We can't paint everybody with the same brush. This is a long name with a lot of Z's in it, but is saying, no, you can't eat too much starch, X source. Yeah. So again, what you're talking about, and again, I need to get an expert on record where it's not in the summit where those videos don't repeat, but you're talking about de novo lipogenesis, where pigs can convert carbohydrate to body fat, humans can't. The excess body fat either escapes through the top of the head through the fidget factor, is stored invisibly in the muscles or the liver and glycogen. And so you're right. I think the problem is people aren't just eating, a low fat starch based diet. They're eating their sweet potatoes with a peanut sauce. And I think in that case, it's not the starch that's getting stored as fat, it's the fat. So, it's just getting so controversial out there now. I just kind of want to stay home and just work with my own people because everything I say is just, it's taken out of context, and a lot of the younger doctors now, plant-based, are saying the older doctors apparently don't read the research and that it's okay to eat oil. And, I just, I'm still going to go with the old guys, and they're not old to me. They're awesome. Dr. Esselstyn, Dr. McDougall, what they say works. So yeah. Sharon has a purple heart. Peggy says, hi. Paul says, thanks. I do not look 60. OMG. It's funny. And I appreciate you saying that. There's this channel on YouTube called, and again, I don't follow anybody really, unless you're my friend. You notice like on Instagram, I think I follow 33 people, and on YouTube, maybe 7. I think it's called Vegan Deteriorating or something. And I don't look for stuff like that, but somebody sent me a link and said, oh, you're on a YouTube with Dr. McDougall. And I thought, oh, nice. I love Dr. McDougall. And it was this like video. Apparently this whole purpose of this channel is just to bash vegans and say, and on that particular channel, it's like, I look as old as Methuselah, and this isn't about whether I look good or bad, but I can't look both good and bad is what I'm saying, at least not at the same time. So it's crazy, but thank you for saying that. I don't feel 60. I don't know what that feels like, but because actually won't be 60 for 9 days. Paul says, I've been eating huge quantities of potatoes and don't seem to be losing weight. I often have 1 kilogram of potatoes for my dinner. So a kilogram, could you please tell me what is a kilogram, 4 pounds? But Paul, are you eating vegetables? How many vegetables are you eating relative? Because hey Siri, how much is a kilogram in pounds? Of course, she's not talking now. You got to tell me because I'm not good at math. But again, somebody knows, tell me right now. Do I ever come to Philadelphia? Would love to meet you in person. I went to college in Philadelphia, the University of Pennsylvania. So my goal was to have my birthday celebration, which is hanging in the balance. Interestingly enough, Balance for Life is the name of the place, be my kind of my swan song for travel and to not travel anymore. So the chances of getting me to go anywhere that takes more than one plane that's more than like about an hour flight away is kind of slim. But I remember Philadelphia. Do you remember the restaurant there called The Frog? That was a really great restaurant. And the first time I ever had fried dough was in Pennsylvania. I never had a cheesesteak, unfortunately, at Pat's because I was already vegan by the time I went to college. So yeah, Paul, I need to know how many vegetables you're eating and what a kilogram a pound is. Can we use kidney beans as a starch? Yes. The thing is if you look at Dr. McDougall's work, he doesn't want you eating pounds and pounds of beans because of, I forget why, to be honest, but not that you shouldn't eat beans, but they're richer, and he does have a reason for not having them be your sole starch. But beans are very healthy. They have, especially for people that are diabetic, you can't do better than having beans and greens for breakfast. They have that second meal effect. Hi from Hot Springs Village, Arizona. Thank you for loving my recipes, Teresa. Hello, Brooke. Hey, Brooke, I have a question for you, I think, coming up. Yeah, and I don't know if Paul is adding anything to his starches. I start work early and cannot always cook fresh veg any morning. So here's the thing. So Peter, you can cook vegetables in advance. My oven roasted ratatouille makes like 4 pounds. That is delicious, cold, room temperature, heated in a microwave. You can totally make like batch cook vegetables. No, I maybe wouldn't batch cook, yeah, even greens. By the way, that recipe that I have, it's a few weeks ago on YouTube. It's based on Sharon McRae's recipe. I call it Mediterranean kale. It tastes like pizza. You can batch cook that. It's so good. I cooked it in my cooking class last night. Even kale haters love it. It's crazy down under, AJ, too. Toilet paper, oh my God, that's crazy. So when do you eat fruit? So Lori, I will eat, okay, so in the summer, I might eat a whole watermelon when it's in season. So usually when I eat fruit, is I'll eat it for dessert. I often have, so I love the Envy apple. I love the Cosmic apple. So I'll often have a piece of fruit for dessert. I prefer to have fruit in my salad. I love adding blueberries to my salad. I love adding greens to my, like tonight I'm gonna have a stir fry. So I'm gonna have some pineapple in there with my kale. So you're asking, what about beans, Lori? What about beans? Beans are great. They're to the left of the red line. They're calorically dilute, and they're a wholesome starch, but you don't want to have your starch just be beans. Some people have SIBO and just can't eat beans, and it's okay. There's no one particular food you have to eat. Lisa says, thank you for doing this today. It's been a lovely, that's why I thought I'd do it. I went back and forth. I asked I have a little bit of a metaphysical leaning. I asked my pendulum if I should go live because I was actually going to do it Sunday. Christy says, my blood pressure and cholesterol numbers are finally in great shape, but your weight is going up. It's like when people ask me questions on Instagram, I need more information. I need to see your 30-day food diary. And I need to know what you're eating, because are you eating any oil? Are you eating any flour? Are you eating any sugar? Are you eating any salt? Are you drinking any alcohol? Are you even having coffee, which is causing you to have, there's just, are you in any of my programs? You can join for free for 2 weeks. It's, let's see if I can get a link for you guys right here. And you can try it for 2 weeks for free. If you don't like it, it's okay. You don't have to stay. There's no, I can't do that link right now. Sorry. No, I don't want to lose the chat. But basically the link is, it's feelfabulousover40.com/register. You try 2 weeks for free and watch all the great exclusive content from Dr. Lyle and Dr. Hawk. We even have Dr. McDougall in there. And then you get to ask your questions live at 5 every Wednesday. Paul says, I don't add oil savvy. I will literally eat huge volumes of steamed vegetables with 2 or 3 large baked potatoes for dinner. Well, is that the only meal you're eating? And I mean, that sounds okay to me, but you're saying you're not losing weight. Oh, so Stephen said, Oh, Stephen blocked that channel. Thank you. You know, and I report them to YouTube, and I don't understand how they're allowed to do that. 1 kilogram is 2.2 pounds. That sounds about right for, I mean, I eat about 1.5 pounds when I eat, when I eat starch generally. Yeah. Thank you for, okay. So let's see. Okay. So let me, oh, Kathy Hester, you guys, Kathy Hester is the Harry Potter of recipes. If you don't know her, she has amazing books, air frying books, instant pot books, books on oats, books on beans. She's a loving, all-inclusive person. By that, I mean, if you have a dietary preference, either for a medical reason or just because you're a hyper-conscientious nutcase like me, Kathy will find a way to include you in her community. She has free Facebook groups. She has monthly cooking classes. She is terrific. And I'm honored to see you here. So beans are high in protein to eat solely beans. So Xenopedia, yeah, what else is McDougall saying why not to have beans just be your everything do? Chef Del Stroop is here. You said hugs to him. I love him. I haven't seen enough of him lately. I miss him, but yeah. So Shirley, you said hello to him. Is he on here? Angela W, is that the Angela W, the one and only person that succeeded in an unclean environment ever? Hey, Angela, if you are that, Angela, did you see what Dr. Lau said 2 weeks ago about that? That was so interesting. Please don't let mean people, no, Maria, mean people aren't keeping me from helping people, but they're making me more introverted, more wanting to stay home, more wanting me to, less wanting to put myself out there, except to people that are following me. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Hey, why are you closing the door?
Because our company's here.
Our company's here. Do they want to say, do they, oh my God. So I might have to go, but I have to answer these questions. Can I talk more about the horrors of caffeine? I am going to have to go because my company's here. Caffeine is a highly addictive central nervous system stimulant. The best thing I can tell you is what Dr. Linda Carney said in the Truth About Weight Loss Summit, the 17 reasons why, especially if you're trying to lose weight, you don't want to have it. It impairs your sleep. Dr. Artal, the sleep specialist, said the same thing. As little as a cup of coffee in the morning can impair your sleep at night. It has a 17-hour half-life. It does cause cravings for sugar and sweets later in the afternoon. And it's, you know, it's a drug. And like, why do you need it? You know, the thing is it like Dr. Varesh said, if you need it, you probably shouldn't have it, which could apply to you, baby, because I need you. Okay, so I will eat vegetables every day, 1 head of broccoli, 1 head of cauliflower, Jennifer Hand, that sounds good. Parsnips and carrots, okay. Parsnips are actually a starchy vegetable, Paul, so I would really recommend you eat raw salad first and then greens. Good for you, Annette, for giving up caffeine. No smoothies, no eggs. Well, definitely no eggs. Go to nutritionfacts.org and see how even 1 egg is the equivalent of smoking 5 cigarettes. That's Dr. Greger's website. And smoothies are not horrible if they're made with mostly greens and a little bit of fruit. But when you start putting in coconut oil and cacao nibs and almond butter and peanut butter, you know, then you got a 2,000 calorie milkshake. But if you're trying to lose weight, you want to eat your calories, not drink your calories. I know you don't count calories and macros, but how do I know if I eat enough? Well, you know, you eat enough if your weight is good and steady. Now, if you're overweight and you're losing weight, then you're probably eating enough. If you're losing too much weight, you're not eating enough. But 1,200 calories doesn't sound quite like enough unless you're really, really short. But if you have a lot of excess weight on your body, guess what? You're going to eat that. So you're not going to starve. So have a live hour every week. You know, Jennifer, I do have a live hour every week for people that are in my community. So consider joining Feel Fabulous Over 40. It's free for 2 weeks, but I do go live once a month for an extended time to everybody. And I do have a YouTube that I always put up every week that's pre-recorded. Oh, Zena put the link right there, Feel Fabulous Over 40. Debbie says second week and loves it. Okay, so I gotta answer these because the company's here and I'm gonna stream them. Gunther says, what is the coupon to get a disc? I love that name, Gunther, by the way. It's just such a cool name. You don't know a lot of people named Gunther. You're actually the only one I've ever met. What is the coupon to get a discount on a Breville air fryer on the Bed Bath & Beyond website? Chef AJ stated she used one to purchase. So I didn't buy mine on the website. I bought it in the store with the coupon. Now you can get a Bed Bath & Beyond coupon simply by registering for their emails. If you're not getting them regularly in your mail, we get one like almost every day. It says on it, it's not good for the Breville, but I've never had a problem using it. They have always taken it and I have bought a couple of as gifts right now. You can also get 25% off in Williams-Sonoma if you register for their credit card and use it for that. But I don't think there's a discount code per se. You basically have to get a Bed Bath & Beyond coupon, either a hard copy that has been sent to you in the mail or one that you register for. And then if you buy it online, put that in. If for some reason, when you try to do it online, it won't take it, I would really recommend going into the store. I haven't seen anyone that was turned down to do that, but I know it has gone up on price, but I know on Amazon right now, at least on my page, it's about $3.99. So Brooke is saying, how do you stop fearing weight gain? I keep thinking I'm gaining weight when my weight has been relatively stable for 6 months. I keep catching myself feeling bad that I may have eaten too much and will gain weight because of I can't seem to help relax. Okay, so it sounds like you need a checkup from the neck up, meaning, you know, and I'm not saying this to criticize you, we all need some kind of psychological support, especially in this day and age. You know, I think everybody needs therapy. I haven't met one person other than maybe my calm, stable husband that doesn't. And so I'm guessing that you, like me, are a hyper conscientious nutcase, and the perfect therapist, which is not going to be a long-term thing for that, is either Dr. Doug Lyle or Dr. Jen Hawk. If you cannot afford a $75 session, you can listen on Wednesday night to their co-host, their co-stars now, Beat Your Genes podcast. But I think if you're, how do you stop fearing? I can't tell you how to stop fearing weight gain, just like you can't tell me how to stop fearing anesthesia. I almost died from an allergic reaction to anesthesia when I was 19. I never got over it. So can you tell me how to stop fearing it? Well, what I do is I avoid anesthesia. I know that this is a problem that a lot of people have. I'm guessing you come from a history of binging and restricting, because that's, if you didn't, you wouldn't be afraid that you were going to gain weight. And this is something that I know for a fact that either Dr. Lyle or Dr. Hawk can help you with, because they've helped many others with that. But this is something that you need help with, obviously. And nothing I can say is going to tell you this, because you don't believe it. And so you need what's called cognitive behavioral therapy, which is the kind that both do. And I say that with all the love in my heart. I'm not singling you out, but very few people that come to my programs don't need some kind of help like this, because I can say it till I'm blue in the face, but until they hear from Dr. Lyle or Dr. Hawk, which is why we have them come on live, you know, at least once a month, I don't think they're going to believe it. So I do think, though, that for people that have been overweight for a significant amount of time, once they lose weight, it can take some time for the body dysmorphia to go away. Like, I know I'm thin now, but like for the first couple of years is like, are you sure? Like, I know my clothes say size 4, but the mirror doesn't. But yes, I know I'm, I mean, I don't think I'm thin. I think I'm regular, but you know, I would say slender. Okay, so let's see. I do have to go. Chef Elaine just spoke at my seniors. I found about the connection. You have an open event. Oh, when you get to Tucson. So am I going to Tucson? Are you inviting me? Oh, Chef Del, you're here. God, this is such an honor to have like you. Okay. So these are like my favorite chefs, guys. Chef Del is amazing. He's written the best-selling books for Forks Over Knives. He is adorable. We've had him at live events, and I love you, Del, and I love you, Kathy Hester. Yeah, I really do love my comrades in the plant-based world. This is what I get so upset about, that vegan bashing channel, because, and this is why, it bothers me. I'm not going to say the name. Those of you that are on Instagram know the names of those two prominent whatever vegans that are bashing me on Instagram. I don't even really know who they are. But the point is like, we have so many, I mean, I don't like when vegans are bashing vegans. In other words, I mean, unless they're actually hurting somebody by what they're teaching, because, if it's us against them, it's all the people that are hurting animals and killing themselves eating animals and processed food. Vegans shouldn't, I mean, I don't love every single vegan person out there, but even the ones that I don't love the way I love Kathy and Del, who I really do, I consider them friends. You don't see me coming out bashing anybody. My mom always said, if you have nothing nice to say nothing. I might say something to my husband, like that person annoyed me or whatever. But I mean, they're all doing the good work, getting people to not eat animals. So it's just, and also, it makes us look bad as a movement when we're bashing each other. So yay to all you guys. Anybody that's doing anything in the plant-based world gets my thumbs up, love, and support. Tracy was getting bored with potatoes. Oh yeah, the waffles are great. You never get bored with potatoes. If you get a panini press, you make a potato pizza. If you have a waffle iron, you make potato waffles. If you have a Breville, you make potato air fries. Oh no, there's so many ways. Yes, Kathy Hester is a rock star. Dr. McDougall say beans have too much protein. And newbie here, Is there a time that my body needs to adjust from starches to high protein to lose weight? Well, you have to understand that if you've been low carb, your weight's not going to go up. The number on the scale is going to go up. That is not because you gain fat. You cannot gain a pound of fat unless you have an excess 3,500 calories. But because those low carb diets, you lose water, you lose muscle mass, you lose protein, the scale will go up about 4 pounds the minute you eat a carb, but 2 of them is glycogen and 2 of them are water. So yes, so there might be a little time before you do that, but that's why don't weigh yourself for at least a month. Yep. Okay. I think, let's see if there's hi, Nancy. Love Nancy. Nancy's another plant-based educator. Anya has a great book. Anya, I know I didn't get back to you. Email's been really hard for me, but Anya Cass makes the best cheese without nuts that actually melts and slices. See, again, follow everybody I mean, these are all great people, guys. And more of them are, quote, sprouting up. Sharon McCrae too. She's a plant-based educator. And let's see. All right. Wow, I know, awesome people. Well, if I knew all these great people were going to be on at this time, then I would do this every week, but definitely once a month. So let me see if there's no more questions. I'm going to go and I'm going to go live on Facebook and show you how I make my dinner. Vegan bashes. Yeah. Oh, my birthday was okay. Well, that's it. I've kept you long enough because even I get sick of myself after a while. So let's say goodbye, Bailey. Okay. There you go. Say goodbye. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Love you guys. And just, don't panic because that's the worst thing you can do. Look, nobody has more anxiety than me. But I got Dr. Lyle on speed phone. Remember Batman, how Bruce Wayne had the bat phone, the Commissioner Gordon? I kind of like have Dr. Lyle like that. So I look, there's nothing you can do about it. So just take a deep breath and, this too shall pass. And I don't know if we're going to laugh about this one day, but we'll say, wow, wasn't that crazy when I had to use, leaf of romaine to, after I went to the bathroom because there was no toilet paper left anywhere. All right. Have a great weekend, you guys, and consider checking out Feel Fabulous Over 40, especially this month when we have Lyle, Hawk, and Goldhammer to answer your questions. All right. Take care. Be safe. Love you. Bye.